Good morning, welcome to a morning view. This is Kim Watson speaking on Friday the 30th of October. Looking at the pound dollar first here, and as we can see the pound's just flicked up a little bit yesterday, ended up with a reasonable update from the body wise. It totally engulfed the previous day's body, although it wasn't a total key reversal candle, it's engulfed everything. What we got here, though, in the moment is the beginning of a pivot swing. If it was to close anything like where it is now, we could even see further upside. There was a downward trend, which is sort of broken at the moment. If I draw that on, just from these highs here, the original downward trend was running through there, which we've broken for the moment at least. And it does look like there's a possibility of perhaps some continuation. However, we've air kissed this 4-hourly 50, and I'm just wondering if we see a bigger reaction and a bigger sell-off. Now we've got, when we come down to the hourlies, we have got the daily pivot and 50 MA below us, so any sort of sustained selling would see us head towards that. We have got the 60-minute 21s in the way, which may provide some support, but there's some mileage in this which we could see easily recouped. Looking at the euro dollar then, and a similarish picture. Yesterday we ended up a sort of a bullish harami sort of pattern. We haven't broken a trend. Has popped up this morning again, so that's the similarities, but it's not broken out of its the trend it was already in. So still looking relatively bearish from that perspective. But the similarities also come in. We've got the daily pivot below us at the moment. It's probably looking the weaker of the markets here, of the two European currencies I'm looking at here. But there's a possibility on the break there. There's not massive movement in this to go. It's only around about 24 pips from where we are at the moment. But this Ali 50 just curling around a little bit, starting to curl around. If it holds, well, we've already hit the daily R1. As with cable, it makes it a little bit more difficult. We could end up sort of in this sort of a choppy morning again. We've seen these choppy mornings and then had decent afternoons. We'll see how it rolls. But at the moment, a break of this trend line, I'd be looking for the daily pivot, and maybe if it starts on a more, if a bit more momentum comes into it, I'll be looking at the daily S1 there and yesterday's sort of midday lows there. Okay, so it's the euro, dollar yen. Dollar yen back into a daily ranging sort of market as it seems to enjoy. It's still in this sort of bigger range that it's been sitting in for well over a month there. Just ran into through the Asian session, just ran into those prior highs there and failed. 60-minute perspective, well, we've hit everything there is to hit really. It could bounce if the other markets running and work to form and fall down towards their pivots. We could see the yen moving back towards these highs again, but not a clear one for me. Aussie dollar. So yesterday it ended up sort of the worst of them all because it never bounced the same. It just sold off. Today we've seen a bit more of a bounce, but we just kissed into the 4-hourly 21. Looking really like it could run back. I mean, it's just looking at the hourlies here, the hourly chart here, and looking at daily pivots. Well, it looks like it's already caught the daily pivot previously through the 12 o'clock candle. So in its tight range, well, perhaps if we see a break, we could break this trend line. Once again, we could just see a sell-off. Oops, sorry, not well drawn there. So if we see a break of this trend line, perhaps we could see a sell-off to the lows. Certainly a possibility. Okay, news-wise today, we've not got significant news out today. There's a sort of bitty low-level data coming out. We've got European CPI flash estimate at 10 o'clock, which, I mean, most of the numbers have come out individually, but it could just create a little bit of volatility around that time. 12:30, if you're trading the CAD, we've got the monthly GDP, which comes out on a monthly basis. So it's quite low level in terms of its volatility. It doesn't do a lot. Aside of that, that's employment cost index in the US at 12:30 as well. Maybe a bit of volatility around there as it will show inflation, but or wage inflation in a sense. Aside of that, not a lot until then. 2 o'clock, we've got an FOMC member speaking, and that's it. So, yeah, not looking like the most obvious of days. I mean, if we see a few breakdowns, we've made some ground up against the dollar through the Asian session, the late session yesterday, and through into the Asian session. If that for most of the markets, apart from the Aussie. But as I say, if we see a breakdown of these trend lines, well, we could be in for giving it back through this morning. That's it for me. Have a great day and a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday.